So black folks just ain't with it.
Yeah,
we ain't trusting that, man.
We've earned our right to be skeptical. So. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again so much for tuning in. This is the Real Deal Fam Network. I am Andre, and this is the gorgeous wife, Essie.
How you doing? Oh, yeah.
She almost forgot.
Boss.
Yeah, she is.
I'm back on the boss back today.
Oh, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We highly appreciate it. If you hadn't had the opportunity yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Boop.
We are on a subscriber campaign, and we would highly appreciate if you would go ahead and hit that button.
Subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all your support. With that being said, we're going to dive right in tonight to a topic that's near and dear to our heart. It's panic and chaos.
It's near to our heart. Panic. No. Preparedness is more like it. That's
yes. But it's something you have to deal with. Basically, everybody's been, I guess, confronted with the issue here since the coronavirus.
You're not supposed to say coronavirus.
Oh, we're not?
No. You know that YouTube did a thing where you can't say it.
Well, I thought it was a real virus.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just call it that virus.
The owner virus.
Yeah, so basically what it did, it sent off shock waves in the American public where people began to put a run on the stores in terms of grocery stores and various supplies.
Like what?
Like toilet paper, water, food, things of that nature. Even things to house the food, such as refrigerators, deep freezers, things like that. Also fuel.
Oh my gosh. Dun, dun, dun. We've seen videos where there's been fights over toilet paper.
Hey, Bob, that's enough. I just want one pack. No, not one pack.
Okay, so if it comes to a crisis and you're fighting over toilet paper, word to the wise, get with your camping gear, okay? Do. What's this thing? It's a squirt bottle. For emergencies, okay? Keep it clean down there. If it's an emergency and it's between paper towels, toilet paper, or food, you got one of these at home, okay? You need to buy you some food, okay? Take it back. Take it back to the old school. What? That's FYI.
Yeah, toilet paper is not that serious in terms of a crisis like this. If it just happens to be between a choice between food and toilet paper, I hope you would choose the most important, which is food. But typically in these type of situations, typically it's the vulnerable that it affects the most. Typically they don't have the resources, nor were they in the inside, so nobody informed them that such a thing was taking place. Like they said, this was going on in China for what, about a month or two before it got here?
Yeah, it's just well, you know, a lot of people say it's just a bunch of hocus pocus, and that the real virus is coming if you take something. When they say, oh, you got it, go ahead and take this, or you don't have it yet, but take this just in case. Here you go. Swab.
Yeah, they I'm sure they're working on something to counteract it, so to speak. If you bleed, that type of thing. But the best...
black folks is hypocrite. Not hypocritical, but we're skeptical because, they did the syphilis experiment, Tuskegee. So we got history with these kind of things, and we just ain't trusting.
Yeah, that's very true. We like to think we kind of exempt when it comes to these kind of things, because if you just follow the old tradition in terms of good hygiene and keep yourself clean and keeping your distance, a decent distance between people, you'll be just fine. I don't understand what's the difference with this particular situation is as opposed to anything else, like the flu or... Well,
they say the owner virus, which is the owner, it is spread because, when you cough, the particles can get in any, like your glands in your eyes and nose and different things like that. So that's why people wear a mask. If you look on the video from China, they wear masks and eyeglasses. So, anything like that can get in, it can affect you. So That's what they're saying. So.
But is that different from any other type of virus?
Yeah, most viruses you can't catch through like you know your eyes and different things like that.
Body fluids.
Yeah. So that's the only difference is this airborne. You can catch it through different places.
And what about in terms of the symptoms? What are they different? I'm hearing that you get a fever, you have respiratory difficulty, and things of that nature. But all that's similar with the flu.
It's just the coronavirus. It gives you basically, pneumonia. So if you have any underlying illnesses like heart issues or any autoimmune disorders or any kind of disorder that your organs aren't working properly, then your body can't expel the virus properly. And so you're susceptible. And then those people, they say, have a higher death rate. But the death rate so far is lower than the flu. So, the actual flu.
Well, you even if it is a possibility that it can result in death, then I'm sure it can. If it is a virus and if somebody have a pre-existing illness already, like my wife said, stressing and creating chaos and that type of thing is not conducive to helping the situation at all.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to remain calm about the whole thing. You want to be realistic about the whole thing and just be prepared for situations like this. I think they say it's like a 90% rate of people who contract it that get over it. So I mean,
successfully,
right? And that's a pretty high number
without hospitalization.
Right. So for us to be going so extreme to the point that we're closing down businesses, we're affecting the basic economy of the country and basically the world for something that seems, I mean, it's if one person dies, that's serious. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of other things going to be impacted. If pharmacies are closed or hospitals are full, then somebody's not getting their medication that they need, and that could be another potential problem.
Well, the difference is that I see is that the news media is not showing, like normally when you go to war, there's a war crisis. They go there, they show you, the war, and they also show you see a lot of dead bodies. Unfortunately, you get to see exactly what's going on. In China, you see a little bit, but as far as all over the rest of the world, you're not seeing anything. The news, you just seeing, hearing what they tell you through the grapevine, but you're not actually seeing it. There's no news media coverage of, you're not actually seeing these people that they see, these numbers that they're saying. So, hey,
I think that goes to show that there's a lot of mistrust when it comes to the media, because if you had told people that, hey, this many people have died from this particular illness, people would take you at face value and say, oh, well, that's true. We need to really hunker down and be, on guard for this type of thing. But right now, people kind of like, I'm not sure, is it true or not? Are the numbers real, what they say? Is it really this many people that contracted it? Is it really this many people that passed away? I guess the only way to know if somebody have a first-hand account where they have had a family member or a close friend that has passed away from it, that didn't have a pre-existing condition like a heart condition or was elderly or something like that, then that will help the public, and then there'll be some kind of, I guess, support behind like what's going on. But right now it just seems like it's created chaos.
I think the underlying issue is a lot of people feel like this is just a way to usher in a new government, a new social system, a new way of mass amounts of people getting a specific amount of money. And, that's just where it's heading in the House and the Senate trying to vote on this package.
Yeah, they say, I guess around April 6th, that's what they're shooting for, if they could go ahead and get the bill passed of a one-time stimulus to the public and also to various corporations, a lot more money to try to prop them up so that people could get back to work and there'll be businesses and jobs available when they get back.
Well, they're supposed to be closing stuff down for months at a time. So 1 month of stimulus package, what's that gonna do?
Well,
I mean, a little bit. If you weren't able to prepare, yeah, it'll help you out. But what about the rest of the few months that you're supposed to be on lockdown in your house?
Well, that's what basically what's creating the panic and chaos, and the government doesn't appear to be making people feel secure, like they got a resolution to the problem, or they can at least hold it off a little bit. Because, like my wife said, if the situation persists and people are not working, $1,000 or $1,200, that's typically going to be absorbed in their rent and their mortgage. Some people's mortgage is a lot more expensive than that. Some may be a little bit less. But on average, that's going to pretty much consume your rent. You have food, you got other issues going on. People have children and things of that nature. So a one-time payment is
if you haven't started your garden,
yeah, it's just not gonna cut it. I think, like she said, if you haven't started your garden, you behind the 8 ball. It's March. It's time to go ahead and do that. I think you need to go back to the old ways of doing things.
Taking it back to the old school.
Yes.
Again, we got that same song again.
Be more self-reliant, and that's the case. But right now, there's a crisis, so it's kind of hard just to start that. Now, people had advance notice that things was going to change, then they would be able to go ahead and make that transition.
Well, that's why it's important not to panic. Start planning. And if you haven't been on lockdown yet, they say they have the National Guard coming to a lot of big cities. Some people had that floating around. They had pictures of the National Guard tanks and so on and so forth waiting to patrol cities and different things like that. I think New York and parts of California and different places. Ohio, some places are already unlocked.
Yeah, so like we said in previous videos, just keep your eyes open, and don't be willing to just go for anything, and the first thing you hear, and don't run out there if they say, oh, this is a site for this, or we were doing testing over here, or we got a cure over here. Take some time and think, and let other folks who just want to run out there and believe in the thing, let them go out there first, and then you see what's the fallout behind that. But I wouldn't recommend going out there right away and rushing up there, especially you don't have any symptoms, nobody in your house is sick, you've been in the house already for a substantial amount of time.
Most black folks ain't trying to do all that. I said we was like the first guinea pig for eugenics. I think even before Hitler that was here, they experimented on black people. We were the foundation for the gynecology. They used black women, slaves, to experiment on women's feminine issues and reproductive systems and different things like that. Like I said, the Tuskegee, syphilis experiment, all kind of stuff. So black folks just ain't with it. We ain't trusting that, man.
We've earned our right to be skeptical, so to speak. So
the good Lord call you, then we'll go. Until then, next.
Mine is very simple. Mankind been here a long time, and before anybody even mentioned coronavirus, you was still.
Oh no, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. But before the virus was even named, you was living, you was working, you was spending time with your family, you was going to church, you was doing everything you've been doing. I don't see why not. If you ain't never heard of it before, you'll still be doing those same things. So don't panic. Don't join the chaotic scene. Just stay prayed up, stay close to your family, and stay informed so you can make wise decisions. That's the best thing you can do at this moment.
Make a plan. If you get separated or whatever, where you're going to meet up or whatnot. So just have things and just start collecting little different little things. I think the camping area hasn't been cleared out yet, so all the different utensils and cooking things and toilet paper, but probably cleaner than toilet paper, I think. For number one, okay. And also, just in case women have their feminine thing, and sometimes those things are expensive, you can't get them. These things are really good. Those little cups that they sell, and they last for months and months. You have to sterilize them and boil them in hot water. But the little menstrual cups, they work great, especially for emergencies. So check that out. Duchess cup. Okay, they have all different types. So that's for feminine product 101.
Well, that was a little PSA, fellas, for the ladies. So
we're emergency times,
right.
Okay?
Well, we support y'all in that.
You ain't got no choice.
But again, like we say, just stay prayed up and stay informed. You know what's right and what's best for your family. Don't just run out there doing anything. And again, we thank y'all so much for tuning in and spending time with us. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Anything that can help or edify anybody who's watching the video, we would highly appreciate it. We thank y'all so much. Good night.
Good night.